Hi, myself Vital Kaligotla. I'm currently studying first year MBA at Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi. And I have scored 99.57 percentile in CAT 2020. And I'm here to share some of the tips I have I practiced during my CAT preparation. So first of all, uh, a bit about myself. I'm an engineer. I graduated from NIT Warangal in 2019. Later, I had 2 years work ex at Bank of America. And so being a gem, I always knew that my targets were high. So always set targets based on my selection criteria, which is going to be there in these schools. And coming to the exam aspect of the CAT, I always say this to every aspirant that CAT is not really a knowledge exam. It's basic 10th class level exam, if you crudely put it like that, but it's more of a time management exam. So for each individual sections, I would say I started first learning what not to do, what questions to leave, than learning how to do unknown questions first. So my number one suggestion would be CAT is a very low scoring examination. Scoring 50 to 60% of the marks fetches you somewhere north of 99 percentile. That's generally the case from the past 2-3 years. So as much as you want to learn how to do new questions, you should also learn how to leave certain questions, because it's costing you time without giving you any reward. And coming to each individual section preparation for VARC, I would highly suggest everyone to read news articles like The Guardian, The Washington Post, The New York Times, uh, even the India Today newspaper, all the Hindu editorials, because the VRC section is not really about English or vocabulary per se, but it's about how you comprehend things that are meant to be for a reader to understand. So it's sort of like comprehension. All the passages, all the RCs or parajumbles, everything you get are taken from books or journals or articles or anything which are intended for the reading person to understand. So you should understand that, as even if you don't know the language or the nitty-gritties of the words, it's okay, but as long as you decipher the meaning. So that's one thing for VARC. And coming to LRDI, this is highly important because LRDI is my Achilles heel. And to be frank, I had to repeat CAT 1 year again because of that section, that particular section. So coming to LRDI, I always say this, that sets don't fetch marks, but questions do. So as long as you knew which questions to pick, which rather than solving the entire sets, you need to know which questions to select. For example, in my CAT attempt, there was a set where options actually solved options in one of the questions, I think probably third question, solved all the remaining questions of that set. So it's important for LRDI, as important as you read the given data, the questions and options are useful as well, because the goal is not to solve the set traditionally. The goal is to arrive at the answer as quickly as possible. I'm not asking you to do lottery, but it helps to actually understand what was expected. The expected thing out of the aspirant was to answer the question, not really solve the entire puzzle or show his or her work. So I would suggest go by each question, solve what you can. And it's okay if you do not solve the entire set. It's okay if some questions like what is the minimum, what is the maximum, those kind of things are designed to take time. You need to know, as I said earlier, which to leave and which to fight for. So that's one thing. And coming to quant, uh, being an engineer, I had a relatively easy turf when it comes to mathematics because of the JE prep and the engineering courses I had. But the only difference that it made between my two attempts was the speed with which I was able to solve. So each question do not deserve equal time, as many might put it. There are some questions which just take 8 to 10 seconds. And there are questions in arithmetic like which take sort of like more than 1 minute or sometimes 2 minutes either, if there are multiple mixture questions or something, milk water mixture questions, something like that. So what I suggest is you need to I this work for me might not be for others, but the highly uh, successful approach is you go through the entire QA paper searching for easy questions first in the first round, and do only easy questions which are within 1 minute. You know these intuitively whether you can solve it or not. If it takes time, you can skip that. And round 2 and round 3 and round 4, this worked like magic for me, uh, because I was able to score the maximum of all the 3 sections. My highest was quant, which is 99.6. So I believe between my 2 attempts, I did not garner much knowledge about mathematics, or there wasn't any very big difference between how I understood basic mathematics. But the only difference I made was managing the time I had in the nick of the moment. And one more thing, quant is designed to be at the last because you're expected to work until the last second. Because uh, if the quant was in the first section, the brain will get heated, if I could say that, but you will be exhausted. But the quant is at the last section for a reason, because you need to run for each question. It's not like VARC and LRDI where data is clubbed together. Quant is every question for itself. So it's a very equal playground if you know the concepts, but the only difference does it make is how fast you can solve them. And another thing I want to share about CAT preparation is, don't wait till you complete the mocks. Sorry, don't wait till you complete all the syllabus which was assigned to by your coaching institute or any mentor or tutor. Start taking mocks as soon as they are available, because these mocks are for making the mistakes, learning from them, and understanding and trying various approach strategies, and just know what works for you. For example, in LRDI, many people say take one set, uh, do it for 2 minutes. If you don't like it, you leave it. That's the standard approach every other coaching institute suggests. But for me, that did not really work. How did I know that? Because of mocks I tried many strategies and I fixed on one strategy. So what I suggest is, mocks are the main important thing you need to have in your arsenal. And if you really give mocks rigorously, thoroughly, and you revise them, most importantly, you need to revise them. And if you revise them thoroughly, then the real CAT sort of just feels like a mock which you give on a Sunday afternoon. That's what really happens on the last Sunday of the November. So again, I would say, keep your when you are attempting CAT, keep your expectations on an optimistic side, but don't go overboard. Like, you don't fix the targets when you are attempting CAT, because you don't know how others are going to perform. That's what percentile really meant, because it's not about the absolute scores, it's about the relative scores. But anyway, the main goal of the CAT is to test whether, as a future manager and MBA, are you able to optimally use your time resource, optimally engage your mental resources to get the best possible efficient output. That's what CAT is really about. It's not about mugging up. It's not about sort of like other exams like JEE or any other exams like GATE, but it's about only time management. So yeah, I would say make as many mistakes as possible before the exams, in the mocks, in the test series. Then you will get to know your strengths and weaknesses and start working on them. Yeah, this is my 2 cents about CAT preparation. I'm sorry if I have offended anyone with my opinions, but these are the strategies that have worked consistently for me and made me stand in the position I'm currently now. Yeah, thank you so much.